Mr. Marshall.
Mayor Wayne and members of the council. I've lived in San Bruno since I was born in 1975, and I was exposed to San Bruno politics at a very young age and for a very long time, as my father served as mayor from 1980 to 1992. It was during those impressionable years that I learned how important it is to take an active role in my community. During that time, I watched hundreds of council meetings, and as a young boy, I can remember getting caught up in many of the issues, always forming my own opinion, even if it opposed my father's. When I was 8 years old, the big ticket item in front of the council was fireworks and whether they should outlaw safe and sane fireworks in the city. The discussion was going on, and I was watching it home with my mom, and I urged her to take me to the meeting so I could put in my 2 cents. Now, Beverly Bernard, a former council member, was openly opposed at that time, and she also had the deciding vote. Beverly will now tell you that it was my comments that swayed her to vote in favor of fireworks, which continue to fund numerous San Bruno nonprofits to this day. I have a newspaper article to prove it too. When learning about this opportunity for appointment to City Council, that same passion when I was 8 years old resurfaced. Some of my reasons for applying. First, given my age, I believe I can add a different perspective to the council. I'm very happy with its current direction, and I would hope to reinvigorate this council with my energy and willingness to work so we can continue on the same path. Should I be fortunate enough to secure this appointment, I really believe that my youth will be an asset and that I will represent a segment of the community that is currently underrepresented on the council. My current role as Park and Rec Commissioner has demonstrated this, and the experience I have gained on the commission will hold me in good stead as a council member. Secondly, I believe the council has done an excellent job during these difficult economic times, and that will benefit even further by adding another business-minded member like me. Despite having begun my real estate career in a declining market, my business is thriving and continues to grow each year. I have learned to be patient yet persistent in this market, and I believe my success has come from my ability to respectfully listen to and reason with people on a daily basis. These are excellent traits for a council member to have. My job as a real estate professional will also benefit the council as they make crucial decisions about the many development projects currently underway and on the horizon. I look forward to working with San Bruno's Planning and Building Department, with whom I have so much respect for and confidence in. Finally, I'm applying because I have a lot invested in this city, and I'm not the type of person to just sit back and not care. I'm a San Bruno homeowner, business owner, and landlord. I have a wife and 2 young daughters who work and go to school in San Bruno, and I have a database of hundreds of family, friends, and clients who are also San Bruno residents and whose future depends on an approachable, hardworking, and open-minded city government. So thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. I have a question. You talked about the segment that's underrepresented. Tell me about that segment.
Well, I work with a lot of first-time home buyers in my generation, and they don't seem to have a passion or interest in city government. They just kind of take things the way it is. They don't know the opportunities you have to get involved and to, put in your 2 cents about how you feel. I think since I got involved with the Dog Park Commission, I've urged other people to come to the meetings, to let me know what's going on, what are the issues going on, what do you like about San Bruno, what don't you like about San Bruno, why did you come here, why would you move here? I learn from people every day why they moved here or why they're moving away from here. And so I get that opportunity on a daily basis.
Thank you. Questions?
I'm not
Mr.
ready yet.
You're not ready
yet.
How else would you engage people of any age or anybody in San Bruno? Our voting record this last election was dismal. We had 18,000 registered voters, and I believe not even 4,000 voted. What would you do as a council person?
Well, which is why it's unfortunate I'm not having the opportunity to run. Maybe in 2 years I'll have that opportunity to run an election, and get out there and go to these same people who I'm speaking of and urge them to, if they're not already registered to vote, to do that and to get out there and vote.
I'm sorry, I wasn't very clear. If you were a council
Uh-huh.
person, how would you engage people to be more active in their government, in their local government, in city council?
The same way that I've done. I started off on a commission, so that's one thing they could do, even if they don't want that much of a commitment, just to attend different community events. I don't know how people realize how much even like the Park and Rec offers the citizens, different programs, classes, educational, recreational. There's so much stuff that I think that a lot of residents don't even know about.
Okay.
You ready, Tim? No.
Vice Mayor.
A couple questions. What approach would you take as a council member if appointed to, now we're going to be dealing with the budget, of course, and who knows what that will bring. But what approach might you have in order to balance or address the issues that we may face during budgetary times?
Like what you were talking about, to asking the other candidates?
I guess you can go off that if you like. I mean, obviously, we'll sit down, we'll have budget study sessions, we'll have the binders that we've all heard about, how they've grown since Ken started. And so, how might you engage yourself if we do have a shortfall? What areas or thoughts might you have as how we could help balance that if that were to occur? Well, that's an example.
I get the question, but I think it's a little hard to speculate on what that might be without knowing what the issue is and hearing the other side of the issue. It's hard to really, I would hate to.
That's fair. Let me, I wasn't clear. Let me be more specific. Let's say we're going to sit down and go through the 2010-2011 budget, and we're finding that there's a $500,000, I'll use the example that was given to somebody else, $500,000 shortfall.
Mhm.
What areas or issues might you think to bring forward or ideas in order to try to balance that budget? So obviously, which is required by law, so we can't just print our money like the feds do.
Right.
So we've got to balance. So what thoughts might you have to help address that issue?
Well, I do have some thoughts, but I don't know how comfortable I feel about sharing them now because listen, the four of you have been up there for a while. You have a lot of experience with.
I'm still pretty young. Just letting you know.
I didn't mention age. I said you've been up there a while.
They say I'm getting older though by the day.
You've had experience with these budget talks, and of course I have all kinds of thoughts going in my mind. Oh, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. But a lot of them, I would say, a lot of them probably wouldn't make any sense. You've probably already explored them. So until I'm actually on the council and have the opportunity to learn more, throw these ideas past, you all who have been there already, maybe because these are things maybe have already been talked about. I don't know how comfortable I feel about just throwing out ideas.
Okay.
Off the top of my head.
And another question, if I may.
Sure.
Where do you see the council as far as how it engages itself during labor negotiations with our MOUs and the contracts with the staff?
Well, I haven't been involved with those labor issues. Can you?
Sure. How do you see or understand our role is during negotiation times when the contracts for the various bargaining units are up, which they will be next year? But I mean, where do you see our role and where it lies?
So your role is to obviously research the budget, see where any possible money can be made up. But I know you also have to take in consideration where the staff is coming from. I'm sure there's issues that you can't cut money for public safety. So as a council, I imagine you make the best decision you possibly can to save the city money without affecting the public safety.
Thank you.
Mr. Ibarra.
Okay. Stephen, you're going to have to divulge something. So I'm going to ask, okay. And I'm going to ask what Council Member Irene asked previous. Give us 3 top priorities that you'd like to see accomplished. If you were to come onto the council.
Number one is by far it has to be the downtown. San Bruno's downtown is not the same downtown it was when I grew up, and I remember going after school and everyone leave school and we go have a sandwich at Roma Delicatessen, and everyone was on San Mateo Avenue. That has completely changed. How it got that way, I have no idea, but I know that the city is making huge steps in trying to build that area back up, and I'm definitely on board with that, and anything I could do to make it go faster, or to anything I could add to make it better, that would be number one priority for me.
That's one.
That's one. Number two,
Scott had 5. I was thinking of 5.
number two kind of piggybacks on that development. I would like to see more residential use of the downtown, because there's a lot of young possible homeowners in San Francisco who can't afford to live in San Francisco, but could afford to live in a condo in San Bruno and have the opportunity to hop on BART and get to work in San Francisco. So I think we're really missing out on that right now. And number three, I think being on the Park and Rec Commission, there's some open space issues that I think we can improve. We are looking to find another existing dog park, whether by using an existing park or finding a brand new space, which we may have done, I think would be great. And also with the possible developments of Lions Fields. And I know one of the other candidates spoke about a multi-purpose athletic field that we could rent out. Well, we're talking about that right now on the Park and Rec Commission, and about turning Lions Field into that field, a multi-purpose field with the all-weather turf, and really using it not only for San Bruno citizens, but to get some income from outside groups.
And finally, somewhat related to this, but I know you have young children, your
Mhm.
young family, you are young. What would be your, being on the Park and Rec Commission and being facilities, what would be your thinking of your children, in the next few years? What would you see as what you would think would be best thing to improve, as far as a recreation facility or improvement in this city?
Well, the recreation,
Whether given any kind of financial, but what do you feel is most important, for our growing youth?
I think school is becoming a big issue. Our grammar schools are incredible. They score as high as many other cities. I think we take a little bit of hit when we get to the junior high school, and I think that needs to be addressed, because like I said, I hear why people are leaving San Bruno, and that always comes up. They want to get out before 6th grade. And I know that the city council has, well, I don't know. I've heard that we have no control over the schools, but if there's a way that the city council can work together with the school district to figure out a way to bring Parkside to better, bigger, or I don't know what, that would be a huge improvement.
Anything else for Mr. Marshall?
I have
Irene?
one. We often have to put aside our personal preferences for the greater good of San Bruno, and being a real estate person, you probably have issues already with the Planning Commission. So how do you deal with that kind of thing, and how might you look at things differently, both negative and positive, as a real estate person?
I'm not sure
I asked you 2 questions. That's my fault. How do you divorce yourself when you're making planning commission decisions and look at the greater good?
Well, I'm on the
Oh,
Park
I'm
and Rec.
sorry. You're not the planning
Yeah.
commission. That's why you can't answer the question. Duh, sorry. Let's back up there.
But as a realtor, I definitely have issues at times with the building and planning departments. I mean,
Okay.
issues come up.
So one of the things we have to do as council people is pull away from that. We
Right.
have to divorce ourselves and pull away from staff and divorce our business from what we're doing as council persons. So how do you think you would do that? Keeping in mind that the laws have changed tremendously from when your dad was the mayor.
No, I know, and I know that if I have a property even close to where we're discussing, I cannot vote on the issue. So I don't know if I can do anything about it. I just have to step down. If I'm answering your question,
Yeah. Well,
I can tell you how I deal with it now.
Okay.
If there's any issues with the planning or building department, I like to address it head on. I don't like to play games. I want to know what the issue is, how can we resolve it, and how can we resolve it the right way. That's the bottom line. As a realtor, I need to disclose everything, and as a planning department, they have to do everything by the books. So I don't know if that's what you're getting to. I'm not sure.
Sometimes the decisions we make, you would make a decision one way if you were a real estate person, acting as a real estate person, and another way as a council person. So you have to look at problems two different ways sometimes. So I just wanted to know if you had given any thought to that.
I have, but I think as a homeowner myself, not just a real estate person, I want to make the best decision for other homeowners as well.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Anything else from Mr. Marshall? Stephen, thank you very much.